welcome everyone, and I'm just thinking, is everything working okay? Right, I'm going to do an audio test here, and I'm going to pause the video for a second. And again, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining for another special health-focused Tai Chi and Qigong class. So today I wanted to briefly talk to you before we start moving around on a thing called adaptogens. Now, I think I have mentioned this before during this class, goodness knows how long ago, but I think it is relevant to what the students are going through at the moment for various reasons, either chronic conditions or sudden situations that put the system under stress. So there are various lotions and potions and things that you can use for your system for various reasons. So often people, if they're in pain, they take painkillers, and painkillers certainly have their place in our lives, but it's not something that you want to be taking forever and a day. And then you have anti-inflammatories. That's another thing that can be very, very useful. And there are various anti-inflammatories that have various properties. Personally, I'm not allowed to use a lot of the sort of over-the-counter anti-inflammatories, because of the medicine that I take, I can't use them. So I have to look at alternative methods. And if you are interested in an anti-inflammatory that is gentle, like I have to take something that is a lot gentler than the likes of, say, ibuprofen, for example, or Brufen. I take Bromelain when I feel the need for an anti-inflammatory. And Bromelain is from the head of a pineapple. It is a natural food substance. There is bromelain in the fruit of a pineapple. So if you can eat pineapple, just regularly taking a little bit of pineapple can be very, very useful as an anti-inflammatory, a gentle anti-inflammatory. But if you're in an extreme case of inflammation, the amount of pineapple you need to eat would give you the runs before it would have a substantial effect on the severe inflammation. So you can go to your chemist and ask for bromelain, and while you're at the chemist, you can check and make sure that it is okay to take if you're on any other medication. So just always check anytime you're about to take some alternative or complementary therapy, just check that it doesn't clash with any of your current medications, because the whole idea is to make you better or to help you improve, and we don't want to have any contraindications that could actually make things worse. So from the food point of view, for anti-inflammatory, for reducing inflammation, olive oil is a really useful wee product. And you can just take it, I would recommend extra virgin olive oil, which means that you have literally, the company that have made it have taken the olives and squashed them flat. And the oil that has come out of the olives, that's what they've put in a bottle. That's what extra virgin means. It's the first press, it's the natural juice that has come out, or the oil that has come out of the olives. So if you use some of the cheaper olive oil brands, they extract more oil from those smooshed up, squashed olives by more intense means. They would be using chemicals, or would be using ways to get every last bit of olive oil out of the olive, and therefore would be more processed and may have other stuff in it that you really don't want. So if you're going to go the olive oil route, especially for inflammation, I would go with your extra olive oil and get it in a glass bottle, because plastic can leach chemicals and aspects present in the plastic can actually be drawn into the oil. Remember, you can use medicines with oil. You can make medicines with oil. And here's another member coming in, lovely. So yeah, so if you take, say, nettles and chop them up and warm them in oil and bottle them and keep that oil in your hot press, that creates a lovely medicine, because the oil naturally sucks the good stuff out of the plant material and into the oil, so you can use it as medicine. But if you have a plastic bottle, it could be sucking aspects of the plastic into the oil, and we don't want that. Welcome, folks. Good. So olive oil is a very useful anti-inflammatory, and it's particularly useful if you take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So a little, like a dessert spoon or even a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil is very, very useful. And the other very useful anti-inflammatory I would recommend are blueberries. In season, ripe blueberries. They are full of antioxidants, as is olive oil, and can really help reduce inflammation. So there's some inflammation tips: bromelain, olive oil, and blueberries. 3 things that are all very nice. You can eat pineapple if you just have a bit of inflammation, but if you want a wee bit more of a hit, you can go to your chemist. A word on bromelain: it is a digestive enzyme, so you have to take it while eating. If you took it on an empty stomach, you could actually give yourself stomach cramps, and that's something that happens a lot with anti-inflammatories like bromelain. You can end up getting a sore tummy because they can be a bit harsh on the stomach. But actually bromelain, as long as you can take pineapple, as long as you're not allergic, it will actually aid digestion, but only if you eat. So you have to eat with bromelain, but better to have olive oil on an empty stomach. Okay, so there's anti-inflammatories. One other thing, as I mentioned, I'd like to mention adaptogens. So if your system is under particular stress, taking an adaptogen just helps your system deal with the stress, and therefore, in a somewhat roundabout way, helps you heal altogether. So the more relaxed you are, the more comfortable and content you are in your situation, the more your system will be able to relax, the more your energy will be able to flow without impediment, and the more you will just feel well. So adaptogens, you can have a wee Google at it and see. Western medicine is somewhat skeptical about adaptogens, but if something can make you more comfortable, why would you not? Honestly, that's how I see it. So a common adaptogen is ashwagandha. I will share some information in the links on the video and on WhatsApp for you. Ashwagandha. So it has a sort of mellowing effect. You can have it in tincture, and I think you can get it in root form and just boil it up. Yes, I have some in root form. And if you have roots, you boil it up for 45 minutes and then drink it as tea. If you have tincture, you can just take your hot water and put a squeeze of the tincture in. It doesn't have much flavour. It's slightly plant-like, root-like flavour, but a lot of people find it very soothing. I think licorice is also an adaptogen. I need to check that, but if you have high blood pressure, avoid licorice. And it can also loosen the stool, so you have to be a little careful. If you're already prone to running to the toilet, licorice is maybe not your best answer. And there's a thing called 5 flavoured berries. If you can get hold of it, happy days. The 5 flavoured berries are sweet and sour and bitter, and they have all these lovely flavours all inside them. They're also an adaptogen, but I would look into adaptogens. Adaptogens are not meant to be taken all year round, but just for a period of stress. If you're under stress, taking an adaptogen for a couple of weeks can really help soothe and relax. I think ginseng actually falls under the category of adaptogen as well. For me, I find ginseng too stimulating. So ashwagandha is on the mellowing side. Ginseng would be quite stimulating, but helping you get through a rough time. So I would definitely suggest you look into adaptogens if you are struggling for whatever reason. Chamomile is it's a soothing agent. I'm not sure if they would call it an adaptogen, and lavender as well. So there are lots of things that you can do to soothe your system. You don't have to eat it, you can just put it in a wee diffuser and put it in your bath. Things to help you mellow out will help you recover. So do bear that in mind. Because often we think, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? So you do the things that help directly fix, but if you help your general state, that will also be very useful. Okay, let's do a bit of Tai Chi. So if you're ready, and of course if there's ever any questions, folks, do just jump in and ask. If I know the answer, I'll be happy to answer, and if I don't, I'll hopefully be able to find out. Hopefully I'll be able to find out the answer and learn something myself while I'm at it. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight, tuck back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and press forwards. Lovely, okay. Relax down. So the first exercise we're going to do, or think about, is the four corners rotations. The knees want to be just off the lock. Now, this exercise would be brilliant for recovering after hip replacement. However, you want to go when you're ready, so if you're not ready, don't do it. If you feel you're not ready but you want to partake, what you can do is visualize like you're rolling a marble into the four corners of your hips. So you're visualizing the movement of energy. You don't necessarily actually have to do the movement itself. So where the mind goes, the energy follows. So just by visualizing that little rolling marble, the energy is already spiraling. There's nothing more to be done, it's doing it. Then if you're doing the physical action, you're riding the wave of that flow of energy. So if you're not ready, or maybe you feel reluctant for whatever reason, no problem, visualize. By visualizing, you are already laying the pathways and stimulating the nervous system so that you're strengthening the muscles before you even use them. How cool is that? Good, so let's change direction, please. You can also make the movement smaller. So if you like, you can think of taking the very tip of your tailbone and think of drawing around a postage stamp. Think of a square postage stamp. So that can make the movement a lot smaller, which again, if you're reluctant after injury or operations, it just makes it that bit more accessible. But don't underestimate the size of a small movement. Actually, small movements in Tai Chi are considered to be more powerful than big movements. You might think, what? What is she on about? Well, think of the movement of a wheel. If you think of the outside of a wheel, it has to travel a long way, but it has spent its energy. Whereas if you look at the hub of the wheel, let's come back to center, it doesn't look like it's moving. You might see a kind of shine or shimmer, but there is all the power. So the smaller the movements that we make, the more powerful the movements become. So from the martial perspective, punching and kicking people, it has power, but it's actually more powerful to elbow or knee someone. And if they're on top of you, it's more powerful to strike with the elbow or the hip, or indeed if they're grabbing you from behind the bottom. So the closer to your center, the more powerful your movement becomes. Okay, let's do a little movement with the arms, please. We just gently circle and breathe. Good. Now we have new folks in today. Welcome, welcome. We're just discovering how to use small spaces. Change direction, please. So basically, if you feel you're getting close to the wall, move away from it. So that may mean that you're using extra movements, and that's absolutely fine. You'll see me doing that in the course of this class as well. Good, and just the shoulders, please. Always do what you can comfortably. Work within your comfortable and safe limits. Good, let's change direction. Good. Do you feel that these, even though this is a shoulder movement, it's actually stimulating your whole spine? And you'll feel connections going through the legs one at a time. And change direction. Good, back to center, easing out of your stance. A little bit of leg warming, please. We turn out one foot and take a 3/4 step forwards. I'd like you to keep this a little bit narrow. We were discussing this in Chen training the other day. In Chen, to do the leg stretch, we actually keep the feet parallel. I'm not asking you to do that because we're not doing Chen style at the moment. But what they do is they kick and step down. And one of the group, senior members of the group, asked, why do we do that? Why don't we just step out? And the answer was because we want to keep the alignment. So when we kick and step down, we keep quite a narrow stance and we keep the alignment. Whereas if we just stepped, we go a little bit wider, which can actually knock off the alignment. I find that very interesting. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just take a slightly narrower stance than we would normally, but still we want a little width. And we're going to go forwards and back. Good, so this is our little rocking, rowing action. Breathe. You probably can't hear it, but every time for about 6 or 7 times there, my knee made a tiny little click. Good. There it goes. And change, please. My whole life I've sounded like castanets. Just move and click. Good. Quite nice. My husband, his ankles are like castanets as well. He goes up the stairs and it's click, click, click. I said to him, you'll never be a ninja. Shaolin, yes. Ninja, no. Good. All right. Step up and rest. Well done. Take a breath. Good stuff. Okay, so in this class recently, we've been looking at the 24 International Simplified Competition Form. Gosh, I needed to take a breath before I finished that sentence. It's a long name, short form. So we've just started. We've done our open, we've done separate wild horse's mane, white crane opens its wings, old cat washes its face, and last week we started to look at brush, knee, push step. So let's briefly revise those moves and then we will look at play the pipa and step back repulse monkey. Okay, so we bring our feet together to begin and we lengthen up. The chin slightly down and back. We take a nice deep breath and sigh your tension away. Good. We'll do that a couple of times. Breathe in, feel the byway point, the very top of the head, and from that point, still keeping it up, sigh everything else down through the body, through the legs, through the feet, and away. One more time, please. Ready? Deep breath. Very good. Now just let your breath flow naturally. I want you to feel down into your feet and notice the weight distribution. Is the weight evenly across the feet? Sometimes it needs a mirror to check this because we will think that whatever is what we do on a daily basis is balanced. It's not necessarily. So we have to have a wee check and a feel and let go down into the earth. Good, so we're going to release belly, hips and knees. Fill your right foot, empty and peel away your left foot. I'm mirroring. We open to your left, put the foot down and shift into the center. We're going to float up. Feeling all the way along the arms to the fingertips, shoulder height. Release, relax the belly down and let that drag the arms down. Again, please. So we float up, release the center and let that drag the arms down. If you see this from the side or from the corner, it's the center relaxing that drags the arms down. See it done wrong, please. We breathe in. That That's just bringing the arms down. It's not the same. We want to relax the center, which draws the arms down with. And that looks like nothing, doesn't it? But it's a very rich and, in its own way, challenging wee move. Good, okay, so now let's take our right hug ball. Again, I'm going to mirror you. So turn out your right toe, seeing as we're facing front, and lift the right hand and bring the left hand and foot in. So hug ball, shoulder height, hip height. We're going to step. If you remember, as you step, you're going to give the arms a little squeeze. You're going to turn your body a little bit further, which squeezes your arms in, relax, and untwist to scissor the arms apart. So now the same side hand is up as the front leg. Relax to center, that last little moment of We feed the weight back and we turn the whole lot. We feed forwards from underneath and gather in. And we do it again. We step and separate, relax to center. Feed it back, a little turn, forwards. If you've run out of space, go into hug ball and scoot back. Do it again. So you can see my feet. Ready? As we step, we're actually turning a little bit more to the corner. That squeezes the arms in, relax, and separate, and relax to your center. Take a half step with your back foot and squeeze. It's not squeezing, but a gentle contraction, hug ball. Good. Swipe up your right arm, keep it in front of you, untwist, left arm down, release. White crane opens its wings. Old cat washes its face, point to the elbow, point to the elbow, bring the foot in. Good. Make sure you're at the back of your space for brush, knee, push. So as we step, we look forwards and we press the arms down, hands down. We go round the knee, feed forwards, relax to center. Feed back, turn, forwards, hand brings the foot, step, foot brings the hands, brush knee and push, relax to center. You can even push that back heel back a little bit as you relax. Release, back, turn, forwards and in. One more time, step, press down, brush around the knee, press forwards and relax to center. Do you see that last little moment? Again, it's relaxing to your center, which gives the heaviness, the drag on the hands, so that the heels of the hands sink down a little bit. It is not an arm movement. It is relaxing to center, draws everything down. Well done, and rest. Good, now that's quite a different way of working, isn't it? The way that we do when we're face to face, when I'm mirroring you, when I'm coming towards you. So now let's do it with my back to you, and we all do the same thing. Let's see how we get on. So for now, we're just going to walk forwards. So we're leaving out the side steps. We'll do that in a minute, but for now, we just go forwards. Ready? We start with our feet together. Check posture. Take a deep breath and release, relax down through your body. Take a few moments to calm. This is in lieu of standing practice, just a second or two to let go. Good, let's lift the right toes, turn the body to 45, put the foot down, and take hug ball. We're going to step forwards. Remember, as we step forwards, that turns the body a little bit more, and the arms get a squeeze inwards. Now we relax the arms towards each other, untwist, split the hands, and relax to center. Feed the weight back, keep the body as one unit, turn, feed from underneath, gather, hug ball, As we step, we turn slightly further and we squeeze the arms towards each other, relax towards each other, and then untwist, separate, and relax to center. Again, back, turn the whole body. From underneath, we feed forwards and hug ball. We step, twisting a little bit further, turning a little bit further, squeezing the arms, and separate, relax to center. Now I'm going to move back because I'm probably a dot on your screen. Good. Take a half step with your back foot, feed your weight back, and hold your ball by your left hip. Not to the side, but to the corner. Untwist, right hand sweeps up, left palm fingers point to elbow. Untwist, release down, and shift the foot, and point to the elbow, point to the elbow, bring the foot in for brush, knee, push, step. We look forwards as we step and press down. Untwist, around the knee, push forwards, and at the end, a little release, relaxing to center, the heels of the hands sink down. We release, lift the heels of the hands up again as you extend, feed the weight back, turn, forwards, hand brings foot, foot brings hands, brush knee, and push, relax to center. One more. Step, brush, knee, push, relax to center, heels of hands sit down. We take a half step with the back foot and we close because we haven't done that yet. Take a breath and relax down. Well done. Now, I know it's actually sometimes less helpful to have more guidance. Sometimes it's better to just go with the flow. I once took part in a workshop, Yang style Laojia, so the long form, and the teacher told us each and every aspect of each and every step the whole way through the form, and talk about information overload. I couldn't cope. I'd never studied with her before, so I didn't understand her terminology, and very quickly I found that it was much easier for me if I just blanked out everything she said so that I could follow her movements. And for someone who loves getting information and absorbing information, it was quite painful to do that, but it was the only way I could cope with the sheer volume of information, was to ignore most of it. And also moving slowly can actually be harder than moving a bit faster, because it's like a slow bicycle race. You're having to maintain engagement with your body. So slow does not mean a cop-out by any manner of means. It makes us stamina warriors. We are good at stamina and strength. But I'm going to ask you to go a little faster this time. I'm going to tell you a lot less this time. We're just going to go through it together, and we're going to do it as we do in the form. So I'm going to give you back view, and we're going to turn and go to the side. So you don't need to worry about mirroring. There's no mirroring. I'm doing exactly the same thing as you. If you don't know what the hand's doing, if you can't see it, don't worry, try and get the general shape. So it's not important to get 100% of the Tai Chi practice 100% of the time. The fact that you're doing it is enough. Do what you can. Okay, are we ready? So we're going to start on the right-hand side of your space. If your space isn't massive, don't worry. Just, if you need to, say you're over here and you're doing a move and you're out of space, and continue. So this is a skill in itself. It's part of Tai Chi to learn to adapt to the situation. So feet together, please. We float up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. We take a nice deep breath, and we come down. Let your breath flow naturally. Allow yourself to arrive, quiet, and still. Ready, we're going to release belly, hips, knees. Relax down into the feet, into the floor. Fill right, peel left, and open, continue. Right hug ball. We step to the side and slightly back. And turn left, then turn right, and there's your change of direction. So now we continue. And I'm off screen, sorry. There we go. We stay forwards, half step with the back foot, squeeze, hug ball, white crane. Old cat washes its face. And if, like me, you're running out of space, we can step back as we continue with old cat washes its face. Prepare and brush knee push. Stay forwards, take a half step and relax. Take a breath. Very good. So, circumstances actually affect choreography. So much so that a kind of cousin or brother, if you like, of Tai Chi, a style called Xingyi, was developed by a gentleman who had been imprisoned. I don't know why he was imprisoned, but he was put in manacles, both on his wrists and his ankles, and thrown in a prison cell. Now, this sounds pretty dire, but to the martial artist, this is bliss in a way, because, you know, you'll see people going to jail and doing nothing but working out and coming out really buff. Well, martial arts is all about just focusing on your martial arts and doing nothing else if you possibly can, not being distracted by the rest of the world. That's how you get really good. So this fella in manacles, in jail, actually had the perfect opportunity to work at his martial arts, and that's what he did. And he created a style of martial arts called Xingyi that is the size and shape of the prison cell. And all of his movements are half steps because he couldn't take a full step with either his hands or his feet. But actually that position was absolutely perfect for preparation for fisticuffs, if you like, because, you know, the measurement of hand to elbow is exactly what we use all the time. Because if we're at our own elbow to hand length, we're at our opponent's elbow to hand length, and that allows us to put people into locks. It helps us to stop them from using their limbs. So our environment can actually change how we do our Tai Chi, or any practice you do. If you practice in a small space, you'll notice your practice becomes smaller. If you practice in a large space, you'll notice your practice becomes larger. And you'll notice that the martial arts in China, in the north, it's long fist, it's all these really big, extreme positions, because they had massive spaces, open streets, lots of space to kick and jump and spin and punch people at arm's length. If you look at southern styles of Chinese martial arts, they are much more small and involved. It's sort of fighting in a post box type thing, because they had small, cramped streets, small, cramped spaces, much more densely packed population. It has actually sculpted the very nature of Chinese martial arts. So Yang style is a large scale Tai Chi practice. Actually, Chen style is also large. sometimes medium. Wu, wu and sun are smaller. They're very, these little movements. So we're trying to do a big scale thing in a small space. That's okay. We can add steps. We can move back. So quite often, actually, let me see if I can get it right this way. In opposition, so old cat washes its face is a common movement for a retreat. So if someone's chasing after you with chain punches, you can block it out of the way, and make a safe and comfortable retreat. So we can do that. Instead of just staying put, we can add blocks. Old cat washes its face and move on backwards. So let's do it once more, just that, and then we will have a look at So Hui Piba, playing the piba or play guitar, and a little glance, maybe, always bite off more than I can teach in one go, maybe a look at Repulse Monkey as well, or start the ball rolling with Repulse Monkey. One more time, please. Okay, so we lengthen up and relax down. Calming down. And we open. Raise the water. Hug ball. 3 times separate wild horse's mane. Half step. White crane opens its wings. Old cat washes its face, but we're going to continue. Old cat, step back left, block left hand across, step back right, block right hand across, keep going, left and right. So we want to finish where we started. Right hand up, left foot in, standing on the right. Brush knee push 3 times, step, brush knee push, and relax to center, back, turn, forwards and in. 2, and 3. Now we have So Hui Piba, play the piba, a musical instrument with 2 strings. We take a half step, we put the foot down. We feed the weight back, turning the right shoulder back, lift the left arm so hand is above foot, and relax down onto the back foot. Hand stays over foot, play the piba. Good, and rest. Good, now I'm going to show you that from different angles. So literally just the other way. If you watch. Half step. Half step literally means that you half your step. A common mistake is people bring their foot all the way in. And if you do that, it feels terrible. You'll totally lose your feeling of broad, comfortable base. So make sure you only take half a step. Put the foot down and continue the momentum, turning your waist, feeding your weight back. And it is like you're dragging that arm back, as if someone has grabbed you by the wrist. Turn your waist and draw back. The other arm comes up, so that would smack them in the eyes or throat, and relax down. So this is not a pull down. It is a very soft, it is like a loo. It has this soft roll down type energy. So it is very soft, and again it happens because you're relaxing your center, you're relaxing into your dantian, and that brings everything down. Good. And this is on the heel, it is what we call empty stance. Good, and rest. Take a breath and relax down. Good, shake out please. Make sure you feel comfortable, check in with yourself. Good. Okay, so empty stance has 3 variations, maybe more, but in general. So empty stance could be, it means standing on one leg. The other foot is touching the ground, at least for the first 2 variations. So enough of the leg weight can go into the foot, can go into the floor, that you feel rooted, that you feel connected with the earth. But we don't actually want to put any physical body weight into it. So the weight is back, the body weight is back, but the leg weight is allowed to go a little bit into the foot. So in this circumstance, in Sohwei Piba, it's a heel. We don't want to pull the toes back massively. If you try that, please try, pull your toes way back, you will feel that you get tense up the calf muscle, it tends to lock the knee, it feels very uncomfortable. So just the heel rests on the floor, the foot should be quite relaxed, the ankle should be relaxed. No weight, you should be able to lift the foot. So that's the empty stance for this move. Another empty stance that we use at another time, like in white crane, is the same, but we rest the balls of the foot or the tip of the toes to the floor. So it's exactly the same, but a slightly different expression. So for white crane opens its wings, we're on the toes, not the heel. Feels very strange on the heel. Good. And shake out. Maybe you can try on the other foot. The third option that we sometimes use is the most subtle. And it's rather like you're trapping an insect between the floor and your foot without harming it. So it's that kind of hover stance. So you stand on one foot, it's exactly the same. We want to keep our structure. The heel gently touches the floor and the foot hovers without actually touching the ground. And if you practice this, you will notice a sensation of energy bouncing between your foot and the ground. You can feel your own energetic field interacting with that of the earth. So again, it's empty stance. So that's your third option of empty stance. Well done, release, relax, shake out. You can practice all 3 stances. It is a very useful practice to strengthen your legs. You want to make sure that the hips remain level, not, or, see what I mean? Level. I bet the auto-generated picture will be me doing something funny. But anyway, so just keep the hips level, regardless of which one you're doing. Excellent. Okay, so a little nudge then for the step back repulse monkey. So how do we start? Start with play the Piba. So extend your left arm forwards. Your fingertips should be about the level of just underneath your nose. There is a very important pressure point at that point. It's where your governing channel and your conception channel meet, just under your nose. The other hand is underneath. So Piba position is not on the blade and it's not the palm facing forwards, it's at 45 degrees. Do you see that? So as if you have the back of a ball and you're going to throw the ball, take one hand away, there is your position. The other hand sits underneath the elbow, pointing, the fingertips again pointing to the elbow. Do you see this position that we go to again and again? So drop the hand down, turn your waist and reach to the corner. Good. So make sure that your arms feel like they're in front of your body. If you count this by degrees, it should be no more than 135 degrees. So that's 90 plus 45, so to your back corner. But it can be a little bit less than that. It should be comfortable, your back should feel round. Now look forwards and bring your hand, your back hand in towards your ear. Bring it in front of your mouth and send it
away. So the palms are passing, like you have a little crocodile mouth. The palms are passing. So you're sending that hand forward, start to release, turn your waist. And as you swing the hand up to the corner, both palms turn to face up. That's important, that the turning of the body turns the hands. You start to draw the hand into the ear, in front of the nose, and again the palms pass. Relax down, swing to the corner. Now if you look between your two hands, you should be able to see both hands with your peripheral vision, and you should hopefully see a little bit more beyond that. That's correct. So you don't have to look past your back hand, look between your hands, keep your eye line and awareness open. Draw into the ear, in front of your nose, palms pass. Turn. Corner, ear, nose, palms pass. Turn the waist. Corner, ear, nose, palms pass. Now this is a preparation for a move called, or the quality of a move called Lia. Reach to the corner, into the ear, to the nose, and send it forwards. See it from the side. I go to the corner. It's only a bit past 90 degrees. Into the ear, in front of the nose, palms pass. Last time, corner, ear, nose, palms pass. And rest. Well done, take a breath. So what does Lia mean? Well, it's one of the 8 arm movements of Tai Chi. We have the 4 softer Tai Chi movements of Peng, Lu, Ji, and An, making up grasping bird's tail that we haven't got to yet. But they are Peng, expand, Lu, roll back, Ji, press, and An, changing direction like a wave. Those are the softer movements, arm movements, or expressions within Tai Chi. But we also have 4 really rather nasty, more obviously martial movements of Chai, which is to yank. It's a horrible movement. It really kind of makes your whole body jump out of alignment, which is the whole point. So yanking someone. Lia, which is a tearing motion. So tearing is when, say, someone grabbed my wrist, I want them to release. So I pull my arm back at the same time as I push the other arm forwards. So I'm creating a tearing, a scissoring action to get them to release. So it's not enough that I pull them in. If I did, and I did nothing else, they would headbutt me, they would go into me. So I want to pull them in as I push them away. And that is what Repulse Monkey does. It pulls in and pushes away. It's not the only thing that Repulse Monkey does. It also can be a lock. I can get someone who has grabbed me, turn them, and press them into a lock. So I'm pulling them in while pushing them away, which can create all sorts of nasty lock positions. But one of the aspects is Lia. And just out of interest, so you've got Chai, yank, Lia, tear. You've got Jo, which is in there as well. Jo is an elbow strike. So anytime that you're using your elbows in any part of the circle, did we do this earlier as warm-up? That's warm-up for Jo. Jo is to teach you to use your elbows. So you could use them up, you could use them back, you could use them further back, you can use them front, you can use any part of the circle. If we add a bit of focus and an energetic release, it becomes Jo, it becomes an elbow strike. And finally, in the 8 movements within Tai Chi, with the arm expressions, we have Ka, and Ka means a body strike. So if someone is actually on top of you, you can use your head, like a Glasgow kiss. There are different versions of head, either sheep or cow headbutts. You have shoulder strikes, you have hip strikes, you have bottom strikes, and yeah, any part of the body, any bony part of the body can be used as a weapon to defend yourself in close contact. So, bit of an education there. Right, let us finish with a little warm down. We're going to leave the 24 for now, and I'm going to invite you, if it's comfortable to do so, to grab a chair. Okay. So I hope you enjoy learning about the system, not just doing Tai Chi, but understanding the vocabulary and the syllabus of movement. We just talked about the 8 arm movements. There's also 5 leg movements, which make up the 13 movements altogether in Tai Chi. You wouldn't think that there's only 13 movements, but there are. And the leg movements are even more simple: forwards, backwards, left, right, my left, no, your left, right. And what we're doing right now is considered a movement: center. Being centered is also considered a movement. So if you put everything together, forward, backwards, left, right, center, Peng Lu Jian, Chai Lei Jiu Ka, 13 movements in total. All Tai Chi is made up of one or more of those elements. But for now, we're going to rub our hands, and we're going to bring our hands to the top of the head. Just relax the palms against the head. Keep the top of the head floating up. Feel for the touch. Take a deep breath and relax into the feeling of touch, whatever temperature you can feel. Feel the energy connection flow. Release very gently, very gradually. Open your hands away. Lovely. Bring your hands back together again. Rub one hand to the front of the head, one hand to the back. Gently cradle the head. Keep the head straight. Keep the top of the head floating up. Feel the touch. Feel the temperature. Feel the energy between the hands, and very gently, very slowly peel away and open. Now, if you can't do a particular move for whatever reason, don't worry, visualize it. Rub the hands. You can even think of your hands holding the points while you relax your hands on your lap. Take your hands either side of the head, gently cradle, feel, release, relax. Breathe into the touch, breathe into the temperature, breathe into the feeling of holding your head, and very gently, gracefully release and open away. Good, rub your hands. Now you could do each hold for a lot longer, for as long as it's comfortable, or until you feel a balance between the front and the back. So we're cradling the neck, front and back, just for a moment. Feel into it, breathe, relax, and gently slide your hands around to cradle the sides of your neck. Again, relax into the touch, feel the touch, the quality, the temperature, the energy, and gently open away. Think of it as if you are stretching out, like there's gum or something connected and you're stretching it out. So you're not breaking the connection, you're stretching your energy out onto the shoulders, whatever way is comfortable. Feel the touch, relax into it, feel the temperature. Good, and this time we're just going to release and slide down a little bit. Cradle the hands against the arms, feel the touch, feel the temperature, feel the energy, release and slide down. Connect, feel, breathe, release and slide down to the lower arms. Connect, feel, breathe, release. Place one hand on your lap, take the other onto the wrist. Relax into the stance, Feel the connection. Breathe. Good. Release, slide down, palm on palm. Feel the touch, feel the temperature. Feel the energy. Release and slide down to cover the fingers. Connect. Feel. Let go into it. And gently, let's do a big circle. Same on the other side. Wrists. Connect. Feel. Release. Slide down to the palm. Connect. Feel the temperature. Feel the energy. Release. Cover the fingers. Connect. Breathe into it. Feel into your fingers. And release. And let's turn the circle. Bring the hands together and rub. Even momentary touch can be very relaxing, so we'll go to the chest. 1. Feel, listen, release. Either side, top of chest. Feel, listen, release. Slide down, midsection. Feel, listen, release. Lower ribs. Feel, listen, release. Belly. Feel, listen, release. Hips. Connect. Feel, listen, release. Other side. Connect. Feel, listen, release. Down the legs. Listen for the touch, the warmth, the pressure. Slide down. Touch. Feel, listen, release. Slide down. Feel, touch, temperature, release. Knees. Feel, listen, release. Good. For the lower legs, if we rub the hands, if it's comfortable to do so, it's like you're putting on socks. We're going to hold the ankles and just let the foot relax down and slide the hands naturally up the leg. On the other side, it's enough to touch and feel and listen. Ready? Touch and slide it down. Well done. You could do front and back as well, but we're out of time. Let's rub. We're going to finish with our kidneys. The kidneys, like our dandian, are responsible for storing our energy. So if you can comfortably bring your hands to your kidneys and give them a jolly good rub. Traditionally, we rub the kidneys 36 times, but you can do any amount. If you can build up a bit of heat, that's what we're looking for. Then gently hold the kidneys, keeping the knees slightly bent. Relax, feel into the kidneys. Connect, listen, and let go. And finally, bring the hands round the front to the dandian. Covering center, check posture, breathe and connect. Feel for the touch, the gentle pressure of your hands flowing into your center. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. Good work today. Apologies, I've gone a little moment over. But let's salute for now. Thank you so much for joining me and wishing you a very lovely day, even though it might be a bit dark and stormy. We'll make the most of it. Thank you, and I'll finish the recording, so see you next time.